is ultrafiltration. So, ultrafiltration is one of the important separation techniques which is used in the food analysis. By definition, we can say that ultrafiltration is a pressure-driven purification process that will separate particulate matter from the soluble compounds using an ultrafine membrane media. So, ultrafiltration is one of the important separation techniques which is used in the food analysis. By definition, we can say that it is a pressure-driven purification process that will separate the particular matter from the soluble compounds by using an ultrafine membrane. Or we can say that ultrafiltration is a membrane filtration in which forces like pressure or concentration gradients will lead to the separation through a semi-permeable membrane. In short, we can say that ultrafiltration is a purification process that will separate the particulate matter or soluble compounds from a mixture by using a membrane or semi-permeable membrane. It is a selective separation step which is used to both concentrate and purify components of a media. So it can be used either to purify the components of a media or to concentrate the components of the media. The term ultrafiltration was first introduced by von H. Benzold in 1907 to describe the forcing solution at several atmospheres through the nitrocellulose membrane of graded pore-size structures. So the term was first introduced by von H. Benzold in 1907 and he used the nitrocellulose membranes of the graded pore-size structures. The suspended solids and solutes, so high molecular weight are retained in the retentate while the water and low molecular weight solids will pass through the membrane into the filtrate. So during the ultrafiltration process, the suspended solids and the solutes which are of high molecular weight which are present in the mixture are retained in the retentate, while the water and the low molecular weight solute will obviously pass through the membrane to the filtrate. So this we are separating the solids and solutes from the rest of the medium. And this ultrafiltration will help to remove high molecular weight substances, colloidal materials, organic polymeric molecules and inorganic polymeric molecules. And this separation process is used in industries and research centers for purifying and concentrating macromolecules of 103 to 106 Dalton and also used mainly for the purification of the protein solutions. And in this process, the suspended solids and solutes of high molecular weight are retained in the retentate and water and low molecular weight solutes will pass through the membrane into the filtrate, and it is mainly used to remove high molecular weight substances, colloidal materials, organic polymeric molecules and inorganic polymeric molecules. And this separation process is used in industries and research for purifying and concentrating macromolecules of 103 to 106 Daltons and also especially for the separation of the protein solutions. Then coming to the semi-permeable membrane used in the ultrafiltration process, it should have high porosity and a narrow pore size distribution. So one of the important features of the membranes used in this process are it should be a high porosity and should have narrow pore size distribution. And coming to the polymers of this membrane, it may be of cellulose acetate, cellulose triacetate, polyvinyl alcohol, polysulfone, polyamide and polyether sulfone. Then coming to the factors affecting the efficiency of the different membranes used in the ultrafiltration. First one is the size of the molecule, shape of the molecule, membrane material, presence of other solutes and the membrane configuration. So the different factors that affect the efficiency of the different membranes used in the ultrafiltration process are the size and shape of the molecules. So the size and shape of the molecules which are present in the mixture we are using is one of the important factors that influence the efficiency of the membrane and also the efficiency of the process. And the next one is the membrane material. We all know that different materials are used for the manufacturing of this membrane, and the membrane material is also an important factor that influences the efficiency. And also the presence of solutes, other solutes which are present in the medium we are using is also an important factor, and the membrane configuration will also influence the efficiency of the different membranes which are used in the ultrafiltration process. In coming to the principle of this process, the basic operating principle of this ultrafiltration will use a pressure-induced separation of the solids from the solvent through a semi-permeable membrane. So simply we can say that the principle behind the ultrafiltration is that it uses a pressure to separate the solutes from the solvent by using a semi-permeable membrane. And the relationship between the applied pressure on the solution and the flux through the membrane is described by the Darcy equation. So the relationship between this pressure and the filtration can be simply described by using the Darcy equation, that is J is equal to TMB divided by mu RT. So the principle behind this ultrafiltration process is that it uses a pressure to separate the solute from the solvent with the help of a semi-permeable membrane, and the relationship between the pressure we are using on the solution and the filtration rate can be described by using the equation J is equal to TMB by mu RT. In this, J is the flux or the flow rate per membrane area, TMB is the transmembrane pressure, that is the pressure difference between the feed and the permeate stream. Mu is the solvent viscosity and R is the total resistance. The total resistance is the sum of the membrane and the fouling resistance. So the different factors that influence the flow rate is the transmembrane pressure, solvent viscosity and the total resistance that develop. Next is the application of this ultrafiltration. First one is in the water treatment. Ultrafiltration can be mainly used for the removal of the particulates and other macromolecules from raw water to make it a potable water. Simply, we are using this ultrafiltration method to remove the particulates and other macromolecules from raw water to make it a potable water. And these processes are currently preferred over other traditional treatment methods because they do not have any chemicals, constant product quality, compact plant size, and about 90 to 100% pathogen removal. And the disadvantages of this method is a high cost. Additional pre-treatment of the feed water is required to prevent the excessive damage to the membrane unit. So the first and foremost application of this ultrafiltration is in the water treatment. It can be used to remove the particulate and other macromolecules from raw water to make it a potable water, and it is preferred over other traditional methods because of its advantages like no chemicals required, constant product quality, compact plant size, and 90 to 100% pathogen removal. And the major disadvantages are it is high cost, and also some additional pre-treatment of the feed water is required, otherwise it will lead to the excessive damage of the membrane unit. So when we are using this ultrafiltration for the purification of the more contaminated water, it requires some pre-treatment of the water, otherwise it will lead to the excessive damage of the membrane units. The second application is in the dairy industry, and it is mainly used in the processing of the cheese whey to obtain whey protein concentrate and a lactose rich permeate. So it has a wide application in the cheese production, and the advantages of this method in dairy industry is that they are more energy efficient, have consistent product quality, and they do not denature proteins as they use only moderate operating conditions. And the disadvantages are there, it will decline in the productivity. Cheese whey contains high concentration of the calcium phosphate, which will lead to the scale deposit on the membrane surface. So the second application is in the dairy industry, and in the dairy industry it is mainly used in the cheese production. And the advantages of this method in cheese production is that they are more energy efficient, have consistent product quality, and they do not denature proteins. That is important advantage of this ultrafiltration over other operating conditions. And the disadvantage is the decline in the productivity, and also cheese whey will contain high concentration of the calcium phosphate, which will deposit on the membrane surface and will affect the further filtration process. And the applications in the biotechnology are the separation of the microbial cells. It can be used for the separate microbial cells from a mixture, and also used for the purification or the recovery of different enzymes also. And also it is used in the cell washing and product purification. And the other applications are the filtration of the effluent from paper pulp mill, removal of the bacteria from milk, enzyme recovery, fruit juice concentration and clarification, dialysis and other blood treatments, desalting and the solvent exchange of the proteins, and also in the radiocarbon dating of the bone collagen. Next, we will say about the different advantages of these methods. And the ultrafiltration membranes are available in various sizes and making the process suitable for the different separation. So, these ultrafiltration membranes are available in various sizes and also various materials. So, hence it can be used for the separation of the different materials. And because the ultrafiltration separate without phase change the energy and also compared to other methods, here the energy consumption rate is also very low, and with ultrafiltration the separation and the concentration can be performed at a low pressures, conversion can be high, and the colloids can also be removed, and the macromolecular species can also be concentrated. And using this method, separation or the concentration procedures can be performed under low pressure, and here the conversion rate is also high and also used for the separation of colloids and the macromolecular species, and it is particularly suitable for the temperature sensitive materials. So one of the most important advantages that it can be used for the purification or the separation of the temperature sensitive materials. So materials which will be denatured by application of temperature can be separated by using this method. And also these systems are simple and compact. Another advantage is that this method is very simple and compact, and also the operation can be restored easily after a shutdown. Then coming to the disadvantages of this method, ultrafiltration cannot separate dissolved salts or low molecular weight substances. It cannot be used for the separation of the dissolved salts of a media and also for the separation of the low molecular weight substances. Hence, it cannot be used in the desalting of the water. And this ultrafiltration membrane is not commonly used to fractionate macromolecular mixtures also, and it cannot be used in the separation of the macromolecules also. And the efficient fractionation by this method is only possible if the species differ in molecular weight by a factor of 10 or more. Another disadvantage is that it is efficient only in the case if the species we are using is differ in molecular weight by at least 10 factor or more. So it must have significant size difference. So then only we can use ultrafiltration as a separation procedure.